I want to tell you how much I appreciate uh, getting these recordings. And I know it's been a huge amount of work. And you did a great job. And I'll tell you, what happened is I said to myself, what am I going to do? Because my speech isn't good enough to do recordings. And you said, well, listen, I can do the recordings.
Yeah.
For you.
Well, it was really my pleasure. I actually love doing the book. It made me feel good that so many people will be able to listen to what you have to say. And it's really fulfilling for me to be able to spread the word. But the best thing of all is that I know how much you appreciate it. I love you, and it just makes me feel good. Every time I gotten to read it, I said to myself, "Oh, good, this will make George happy." So,
well, that's absolutely true, Jim. Yeah, that's absolutely true.
So I want to mention something that I mentioned a while ago, and I think this is really very interesting. You talk to people all the time. You talk about their relationships and childhood and all that. And you could correct me if I'm wrong. We were roommates until you left for high school.
Right.
We never, until this day, we have not had a fight.
That's absolutely.
Never had a fight. Now, mind you, I would think that there were plenty of things to fight about, but we never had a fight. I think that's a pretty good record, considering that I'm, 76 years old, and I've got an older brother. And in case nobody knew that you were an older brother, yeah. So that's kind of cool, huh?
Well, I think it's super cool because we just had a very it was very easy for us to have a great relationship. And I don't know why that was. You'd think that, well, it might be tough, but it wasn't. It was very easy, Jim.
I think that we were not exactly on the same page, but we cared so much for each other that it didn't seem to make any difference in that respect, So it was really neat.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons that I enjoyed your book so much, because I said to myself, oh my goodness, if these people could have what we had, wouldn't that be the super of all these relationships that you're trying to help people with?
Yeah, right.
That would be good. Yeah.
Well, let me ask you something, Jim.
Yeah.
Having looked back, do you think you got anything from our relationship other than being able to make making these recordings?
Well, yes. Ever since you became involved in all this, I think it was California, and then moved up to Washington, it's given me a lot of insight, because I had issues with reference to my marriage and so forth, and learning about these things and all that was a great help to me. And when I read the book, I remembered things that went on that were involved in this, like the change of heart, for example. Yep. And the biggest thing was about the moods, and being conscious of them, and the fact that they're a factor was significant for me, because I don't think I considered them to be a factor. I just figured, you're angry, you yell at one another. It's
Yeah,
easy.
that's it. Yeah. You're, you're angry, you yell at one another. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So that's one, something big that I picked up, and also from you, and picked up from the, from the book, and also from other people that I've met who do the sort of work that you do.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
it's kind
now
of
that you mention it, Jim, I really feel like you're the closest person in my life.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm really honored by hearing that, because you have so many people in your life.
Yeah, I know. But I just can't believe how easy it was for us to be in relationship. It was
Yeah.
so easy.
Yeah, it was. And you had some great examples too in your book. I was listening to some of it today, which is kind of weird because I'm listening to myself. Or is it you?
Yeah, I
I'm
know.
not really sure. But either way, and by the way, I just want people that are watching this to understand that I have fooled George's kids. I think one of them a couple of times, one of them once, they thought it was George. I
Yeah.
tried and I pulled it off. But
And
but
and that's something you take pride in.
yeah, that's right. One of the fun examples I saw out of the book, and I was listening to it today. My telling the story was the thing about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I really like that.
Yeah.
And I use that sometimes in talking with people. It's really cool. If they're both Dr. Jekylls, you're really in trouble. And if you're both Dr. Hydes, you've got easy street, no matter what the problems are.
That's right.
And if there's one of each, there's hope.
Yeah.
There's hope. And hope is one of the things that's big in your book. I mean, one of the biggest things I got out of it, and a couple of people I had readings, was that in so many ways, the past just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And in the past, all the stuff that I've ever learned in all kinds of therapists and everything was that you have to go through the past and you have to erase things, and it's just not the case. And it was hard for me to understand that concept until I read your book, and in this case, even better, when I did the audio.
Jim, it's hard to estimate how much you put into these audios. It's I mean, you had to devote a big part of your life to make those audios, and you were up for the task.
Yeah, that's right. And it took a lot of time, and I just had to grin and bear it in terms of the amount of time, but in terms of doing it, it was fine. Except when I had a couple of times I had to re-record something or whatever else it is. I think because my Boston accent got too deep and I couldn't even understand myself, But yeah, it was great. It was a labor of love. I can tell you that.
Yeah, it's almost like, passing the baton.
Yeah.
For me to say, well, Jimmy, you take it from here. Because honestly, I had no idea what to do, because I knew that I wasn't up to the task in terms of my speech. And I kind of gave up on it. I just figured, well, what are you going to do? You have this problem with your speech, and then my brother comes up and says, I can do it.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I was out on the West Coast then. But it was really really good for me to to do this, and I found so much in it with dealing with business associates and friends and everything, you know. And I think it's one of the reasons why both of us, you know, I have a list of, you know, a couple of people in recent history that I really hated, just two, I think. And I just find a way to, you know, I find a way to go to the supermarket and strike up a conversation, and now, and if you make a new friend, you know, deal with whatever differences they have, and it's stuff I get out of reading this and listening to your thing too. It really helps.
Yeah.
So thank you for doing all that.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Jim.
Yeah.